In today's video, is it too late to start bodybuilding?
All by myself.
Hey guys, what's going on? This is Paul Ramella from ProPhysique.com, and today I have a special guest. This is my friend Josephine Kartheiser.
Yes.
I like to call her JoJo.
Right. I was gonna say also
call her JoJo.
Yes.
Yeah, don't call her
JoJo.
Josephine.
Yeah.
So JoJo and I met a few years ago at Powerhouse Gym in Tampa, and not the big Powerhouse Gym, the old school one on Florida Avenue. And JoJo caught my eye because she was always training hard. She had a training partner named John, and they would always be doing these epic workouts. She always had her hat low, music on, just doing lots of high intensity drop sets. And a few years later, she actually asked me to start coaching her.
Yes.
And we've been on this kind of journey together now for several years.
Yes, it's going to be 3.
What I want to talk about is the idea behind this video was someone asked me, is it too late to start bodybuilding? Like, they were in their 40s and they'd never done a bodybuilding show. And I kind of want to dispel that myth that bodybuilding is for young people. And so I wanted to tell your story a little bit. Yeah, so just explain your...
Well, actually, I've always kind of been in fitness. Probably started like mid-90s, really hitting the gym. And I was, the whole like group fitness thing, step aerobics and whatnot. And it wasn't really until around 2007 I got interested in bodybuilding, and I was actually 45.
Okay.
So
I was 32, so
yeah.
same time frame.
Yeah, so that's the point right there. It's never too late.
Yeah, so when you first found out about the idea of competing, did you start by like attending a show, or what got you into it?
Yes, I did. I actually went to a show, and the form of figure was called Grace and Physique.
Okay.
And I took a big interest.
Yeah.
Yes.
So what steps did you take after attending a show to kind of get on stage?
Well, it was to seek out a coach at that time, and to learn how to lift properly.
Yeah.
Because I had to obviously put some muscle on for that.
You probably saw an immediate response, right? When you go from all that cardio activity to like strength training and bodybuilding. So talk about the first couple of years and how your kind of physique changed and your overall enjoyment of the gym. I
would say probably, I saw a big change like the first year.
Yeah.
Because I took out a lot of the cardio in the beginning. I liked what I was seeing. I started seeing shoulders and quads and just feeling really good about the progress.
Did you ever feel like a man?
No, I did not.
Even probably when you started, the idea was, women, if they lift heavy, they can look like a man.
Yes, but that was never a thought.
Okay, who was your role model, like, coming up in the sport?
It would be Erin Stern.
Oh, yes.
Erin Stern.
Yeah, she's awesome. She's actually a friend of ours. We're lucky enough to have her here in Tampa, so we see her quite frequently.
Yes, she's awesome.
Did you get bit by the bug immediately?
That's kind of hard to say. At first, no, because I was discouraged because I didn't place.
Okay.
So that made me take.
So what did you see on stage that made people place that you didn't have at that time?
Posing.
Oh, really? Okay.
Posing
so it wasn't
huge.
the muscle
It wasn't the conditioning. It wasn't the physique. It was posing.
Very important.
That was huge.
Not being able to display your physique. So, I have this kind of philosophy with my competitors that pain is a great teacher, meaning the pain of losing, or in life in general, but the pain of when you go compete, that pain is something you want to correct going forward. So how long did it take for you to compete again after that first show?
Probably about another, I probably waited about a good 7 months, 8 months before I decided to do it again. Not a really long time, but...
So you had to take a little time away and then figure out what you liked.
think about it, figure out what I wanted to do, if I wanted to continue. And I knew how much I loved the process and the art of sculpting.
Yeah. So you weren't going to not lift weights?
No, that did not happen.
Okay. Yeah. See, I think that's a lot of it. I think in my mind, bodybuilding, a lot of people think, well, if you're not going to be Mr. Olympia, what's the point? But for us, it's an extension of our enjoyment of the gym.
Correct.
And it's a way for us to push ourselves.
Yes, that's true.
So when did you start setting some goals for competition? Because that's when you reached out to me. So when did you start thinking, you know what, I'd like to do this or this?
That was after taking a really big break. I took about a 3-year break from 2013 to 2016. And that was just focusing on lifting.
Okay.
learning how to lift properly, get stronger, increase strength, increase muscular
Yeah.
endurance, and the whole thing. So yeah,
Would this be about the time we met?
this would be.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, because I remember looking at you in the gym thinking, wow, she's
Right.
jacked
I met you
and lean.
probably around, I knew who you were around 2015.
Okay.
And I started following your videos.
Okay.
Learning who Paul Rebella was.
Joke's on you.
And yeah, I would see you in the gym, of course, all the time too.
Yeah. Now, so since we started working together, you've accomplished a few pretty major things. You know, we did our first show together, and then we decided to do the national stage.
Yes.
And then our first national show, Mr. Pro Card by one spot.
I did, which was pretty incredibly and also unexpected.
Yeah, I think, you know,
yeah.
even for myself, I have not coached a lot of figure competitors at the national level. You know, you were kind of ushering in that. Now I have quite a few. I think, you know, I've had a few turn pro now. But missing your card by one spot, that was, that lit a fire.
Oh, it did. It did. There was no doubt in my mind that I was coming back.
Yeah, so
None
in
at all.
2017, she missed her pro card by one spot, getting second at Universe and holding middle for a little bit.
Yes.
So she wasn't even sure until finals.
Right, I was not.
And then we worked your butt off for the entire year. We put a plan together, how to grow, how to build, metabolically, reverse dieting, stayed lean, and came back a year later, much improved.
Yes, definitely.
I think leaner, harder, the whole package was improved.
Yes.
And what happened?
I got third at that
third
show
place.
in Jersey.
Yeah, and it just goes to show, like, when it comes to competing, you know, you can do everything right, but there's no defense.
No.
There was just two
Right.
girls with kind of freaky packages that
Right.
day.
You just don't know who's going to show up.
Exactly. And I'll say this again, pain is a great, like, motivator, a great teacher. And so, you know, I remember you that day. You were down, you were
I
disappointed.
was. Yeah, I was like, I don't know what I want to do at this point.
And then I got a phone call soon after, and you wanted to go to.
It took about, I don't know, maybe a week.
Yeah.
Week just to reevaluate.
Yeah.
And
We didn't have a lot of time.
No.
'Cause there was a show
it didn't.
coming right
It was
up.
like 3 weeks away.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was like 2 weeks we hit it.
Yeah.
When I made that decision.
It's funny, I'll never forget the day because I was putting my son Sloan to bed and the phone rang and I was like, oh, it's JoJo, I gotta answer it because you were at finals.
Yes.
And you're like, guess what? And like, I knew right away that you got your pro card.
I did. It was amazing.
Yeah.
It was an amazing
So I got
experience
chills
for
just-
sure.
just
I do
thinking
too,
about it.
thinking about it too. It was great.
Yeah, so my whole point of this video is not that, you know, you need to win a pro card, but that the sport of bodybuilding, what I really love about it now is that it gives you these, like, goals to check off to make the process
Agreed.
more
I agree.
enjoyable.
And it does. And like we talked about Erin and it being a lifestyle for her.
Yeah.
I feel like it is for me as well.
Right.
So
Yeah, well,
whether I'm getting on stage or not.
Exactly.
I
if you
love
took
it.
all of that away, we're still going to go in the gym.
Right.
We're still going to train. We're
Yes.
still going to eat with a purpose. It's a part of who we are. It's ingrained. And so for that, I think competition can be a great experience. And,
Yes.
well, let's talk a little bit about this because I don't know if you want to share your age, but I think we kind of gave it away anyway.
Well, I think
People
so,
wanna do
probably
math.
too. Yeah, I actually turned 57 this year.
You're 57.
Yes.
And so a lot of the questions I get from females are, okay, well, are you on hormone replacement therapy? So if you're comfortable talking about it, let's talk about when you looked into that and kind of what you feel has, you know, been necessary.
Well, probably, of course, around in my 50s, in the beginning of my 50s, I started going through all the normal, you know, changes that we do as women. And I suffered terribly with those changes.
Okay.
I waited probably about a good 2 years before I went and saw
Okay.
a specific doctor for that.
Would you have gone sooner now that you know what you know?
Probably,
I mean,
yes.
would you suggest
Yeah, I
to
would
someone
say
watching,
yes.
like,
Definitely, I would say definitely
What are
check
some
it
of the
out.
signs? I mean, I assume we're talking about menopausal
Yeah,
changes.
menopausal changes,
Okay.
yes. The night sweats,
Okay.
very irritable, the ups and downs in the day, feeling tired, not being able to sleep, not being able to be compatible with my man.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
that
yeah.
stuff kind of goes away. In
Jeff.
all
Poor
honesty,
Jeff.
yes. Yes, poor Jeff. But yeah, so I would say it's definitely worth checking out, but find a really reputable physician.
Yeah, maybe
to do that with.
interview some people. Make sure,
Definitely.
you know,
Do your
because
homework.
JoJo and I have this conversation a couple times a year because it's important that she gets regular checkups and make sure that she's adjusting things as needed. But would you say you're doing the hormonal stuff as a lifestyle to be healthy, or do you put any input into the bodybuilding approach?
No, I would
Okay.
say it's more for health for
Yeah.
me. more
Yeah.
for health, definitely.
Yeah, and what I'll say about JoJo is that although her physique has changed over the last couple of years working together, they've been, you know, I would say significant changes, but that's because she already has so much muscle, but it's been more like a slow progress. I haven't noticed
definitely.
any huge adjustments in her
No,
physique.
it's been definitely.
I mean, your
slow
stage weight's
across the
been
board.
around the same every time we've competed.
Correct.
You've gotten a little bit leaner, a little bit more denser at certain things. So,
Yes.
you know, I think it can be kind of looked down upon if you start to go to that side of the sport. But I can tell you from personally, when I start to notice hormonal issues are impacting my quality of life and like family, kids, stuff like
Yes.
that, I'll definitely be doing the same thing. Like
Yeah.
I'm not going to avoid it when there is so much positive science, you know, backing it now.
Yes, agreed. Yes. And mind you, I did that at like what, 52,
Yeah.
53, and getting back on stage at that point wasn't even a thought in my mind.
Yeah.
You know, to help along that way. So
Yeah, so I think these are a lot of things that we can consider, and the reason I wanted to have JoJo over today is just because she's local and we can actually talk about these things, and
Yes.
it's very real. Like, she didn't get into bodybuilding until she was in her 40s, and now it's a huge part of her life. You know,
Yes,
she's
I love it.
around the
Love it.
sport, just got back from the Arnold, and we're preparing to make her pro debut.
Yes, exciting.
So yeah, so I think that's going to be it today, guys. I don't want this video to get too long. If you have any questions for JoJo, okay, I'm going to put her Instagram on the screen here. I probably already did, or it's in the description box below, and you can ask her questions there, or you can leave a comment below, and I'll make sure she gets on there and replies.
Yeah, oh, definitely. I would anybody I can help with any kind of questions, I'd love to.
Awesome.
Reach out.
All right, guys. Well, that's going to be it for us today. Hope you're having an awesome one, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.